Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, we're gonna be working on this 2026 Do that we talked about the other day, but we're gonna be installing the Trail Tech Voyager Pro. So we got all the parts here, and we're gonna put that here because these stupid dudes don't talk with the Polarises on their 7S display. So let's get to that. All right, let's look at the parts we got here. So first we got this mount, the plastic electronic mount that has all the wires on it. We got power cable. So this one's going to plug into one of these wires down here. I don't remember which one. And then we got our other power mount. That's our power cable, not power mount. Then we got our long range antenna so we can talk to each other. And finally, we've got the bracket. So this part's going to go over here and mount just underneath the clamp thingy-mabob for the bars. And then this is gonna go on top of it. So that's what we got for parts, and yeah. All right, guys, so some of the parts we've got here are from Riderz, which is a local sled shop here in Alberta, Canada. They have two locations, Edson and Rocky Mountain House. This first part here is a stainless steel bracket, as we said earlier, but nothing else on this sled is stainless steel, so we're gonna powder coat it black so it looks better. Then we've got this extra power plug that takes there's an unused plug under the hood, and this plug takes power from that only when the sled's running though. It takes constant power and powers it when the sled's running, only when the sled's running, remember that. But if you guys want to see more products and want to get more stuff for your Gen 4 and Gen 5 Ski-Doos, you can look them up at riderz.ca, or we'll put a link in the description. They have a whole bunch of cool stuff like suspension parts and exhaust cookers and just all kinds of stuff for these sleds. And so we're going to use these ones, and yeah, so that's what we got here. What are you doing?
We're going to powder coat the bracket. So we've got two brackets. We've got a bracket for the new 26 and we got a bracket for the old 23. Not really that old. Anyway, so this is my powder coating setup. I got this little spray booth that I built that we don't really use a whole lot anymore. But anyway, I've got a powder coating gun. And so this uses air pressure, and I got powder in here, and the powder, when you bake it, it actually turns into like a plastic. So it's very durable, way more durable than paint. And it uses difference in electricity or electrostatic charge to stick to your parts. So we have this gun, and I got this button, and I push the button on this. I don't know if you can see, there's a red light here on my powder coating system when I push the button. And when I push the button, it puts a negative charge through this cable to the wire, to the steel parts that I have hanging there. And then I have air hooked up to this at like 5 PSI, very low pressure. And it just kind of wafts out. And when I push this button, this gun will charge the powder and put a negative charge on the parts so that the powder will stick to the parts. And then we bake them in the oven to get it to cure and set. So here we go. Hold the button and start spraying. Look at it sticking. You see that, Link?
Oh yeah.
We want to make sure we get both sides nice and good coating all over. So if we watch this part here, I'm not pushing the button and it's not doing anything, right? Now I push the button and look at that. It's attracted to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how powder coating works. I would have the fan on so that we can get a little bit better ventilation here from all the powder, but it's loud for when we're trying to film. So just kind of make sure we get a good coat on there, nice and even. Okay, poof. All right, so we got an oven. We got to look right over here, buddy. Show everybody.
The shop oven?
The shop oven. If you guys have ever seen the oven in the background, this oven is what we use for powder coating only. We don't bake cookies in there anymore. But I've powder coated all the chrome on my Harley by doing this, and it turned out fantastic. Saved myself thousands of dollars. Anyway, yeah, so let's get into this. All right, so we got it powder coated and we got the oven set. So when you do powder coating, you want to set your oven to a certain specific temperature. And we slide the parts in gently. There we go. And now we're going to watch for what they call a flow out. So when you're powder coating like this, you want the powder to turn liquid. So it'll turn like liquid and shiny instead of that dull matte look on there. And that's when you call a flow out. Once it's all done, we turn the temperature down to 400 degrees and then we'll let it bake for another 20 minutes. So we're going to watch that and we'll get into it. We'll be back when it's done.
All right, while we're letting those brackets bake, yummy. No, just kidding. We're going to take off the hood and all that stuff so we can get to the plugs and electrical. So if you don't know how to do that, go watch our other YouTube video. It's a YouTube short, and we explain how to take it off. So go watch that.
So last year on the free ride with the Trail Tech Voyager Pro, we had a problem with the power we were using on it came from the USB port in the little glove box, and it just wasn't enough power to keep the Voyager Pro charged all day. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So it has an internal battery that you charge up like in the hotel or whatever. But then once you're out riding all day, every time you shut the sled off, the Trail Tech would shut off. But then by midday or 2/3 into your day, it wouldn't have enough power to start up and remember all its settings. It would have enough power to start up and run, but it wouldn't keep all its settings and stuff because the internal battery was dead. So to combat that, we are actually going to tie it right into the battery. And on these Gen 5s with the shot start, there's a battery back here underneath this cover, which is also the cover where your spare belt is. So we're going to run the wiring harness from the battery under the seat, above the tank, but under this cowl, and over to where the Trail Tech is going to connect. So I want to show you guys something really quick, that when you go to take this cover off, this is where, like I said, this is where your battery and your spare belt are. Okay, so there's your spare belt. And here's your battery. Look how tiny that thing is, Link.
Yeah, it's very tiny.
Yeah, well, it doesn't need to be very big, right? Because it doesn't run the electric start. This battery on the Dews, because they have shot start, all it does is kind of keep your settings for your hand warmers and all that. Anyway, we're going to run the Trail Tech off of here. Now, how do we get the wiring under the seat? I know you guys are like, what the heck, man? How does the seat come off? Like, there's no bolts or anything. Well, come look at this really closely. If you pull the seat up, see this plastic tab right here? This plastic tab is hooked on to something underneath there. So you grab this plastic tab with your fingers, lift it up, and the whole thing just slides back. Voila. Gen 5 seat popped off. Put it back on. Just like that. It's that quick, that easy. So there we go. Pop the seat off. So now we have this clean base to run our wires.
All right, guys, look. This is our final product. That looks really good. Like, holy shnikes, did that ever turn out good? Me and Dad are both very impressed. So now that it matches everything, or closely, we're going to take out the bars and stuff, and then we're going to mount this right there with Trail Tech right there.
Okay, guys, so this is the plug from Riderz. This is the one that goes to the unused power source plug that clips into here in the Ski-Doo Gen 5 and Gen 4. And this is for the Voyager Trail Tech Pro. So we're going to put those two together, and we're going to have that as one option to try out. But like Link had said earlier, this is kind of like a keyed power, so we don't know if that's going to stay on. Anyway, next is we've got this long harness from Trail Tech, and this one here we're going to attach to the battery in the back, but we're going to put a fused connection in between. The reason we do that is because they asked us to, but we don't want to burn out the Trail Tech. I think that one might already be fused, like the unused plug. Anyway, so this one here right from the battery, that one there right from the unused plug. So follow along as we kind of get our wiring together, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so we're going to connect this one to the battery, and then we'll run it under the seat, under this cowl, and up underneath the dash and everything up into this area here, because this is where the Trail Tech wiring goes. This one here, we're going to run from this dead plug over, why do I keep calling it a dead plug, Link?
I don't know.
So from this unused plug right here, that's where this one connects to. All right, so we'll run it from there, and then we'll have it up into this area as well. And then the actual GPS mount itself is this one. So these wires will come through here, and we'll bolt this into place here, and we'll connect the antenna, and then we'll route all these properly so they're not just hanging out and getting in the way. So we'll do all that, and then once we get it done, we'll do a time lapse, and then once we get it done, we'll kind of show you guys exactly where we put it all. Holy cow, Link, look at this big mess of wires we got going on.
I know, it's painful.
It is painful. Okay, so guys, what we did was, I don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, but we went from the battery under the seat all the way up, and that is this, which is constant power from the battery that goes to the Trail Tech. So there's a panel that goes back in here under the screen. We're going to have this kind of all nicely wrapped up and zip tied, and then we'll plug this power wire into that, and it'll be all tucked away nicely. The other option, if we want, is we can run the power off of this one, which is that unused plug that's down on the other side. So we'll wrap this all up nice too, and we'll have it all zip tied up in place there. So that's our two power wires to go to the Trail Tech. What we did was, when we ran the wiring from the battery under the seat, is we actually like taped it in place. We ran it under the cowl, so it's all tucked away nicely, and it's not going to rub, or it's not going to move. It's not getting pinched or bound or anything like that. So coming up here, this is your antenna wire for your extended range for your GPS, for like your buddy finding and stuff like that. And so what we did was we actually took the vent cover, wrong one, the vent cover that goes on here. We took this off, and we drilled a small hole in the top of the air box here, right where this wire is, and you can see that we put the antenna there. We cleaned that surface with some rubbing alcohol before we stuck it on with a piece of supplied 3M. So now that antenna has a very clear path. It doesn't have any metal or electronic interference. Well, it might get electronic interference. I don't know, but whatever. The other one, it worked really well. So that's going to be there. Again, we're going to take this antenna wire and we'll tuck it all up nicely, and all this stuff will be tucked up all nicely and put away properly. But when you guys go to do that, remember, you got to make room for slack for your steering to turn. You don't want it to be all tight and bound up, or you're going to rip wires out, and that's just going to be expensive. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to clean these wires up and we're going to put this all back together. Follow along in the time lapse. If you guys have any questions about the Trail Tech or the install or anything like that, just leave it in the comments below and we'll try our best to help you out and answer. I know this is kind of quick and straightforward, but it's really not that difficult. All right, let's get this wiring cleaned up, Link.
All right, guys, look at that. All done. Nice clean black bracket, not stainless steel. All the wires are tucked away. Yeah, it just looks like a good solid unit. But yeah, so there you go. All installed, and yeah, that's all there is to it. So if you guys liked it, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff. And please make sure you comment if you have any questions, though. We would love to hear and we would love to give some answers. But that's all for today. So this thing will be back. It will be in a future episode, many more episodes to come. But that's all for today. So see you in the next one, I guess.
One eternity later.
All right, guys, here's the head unit. So this is the actual Trail Tech module itself. So on this mount, it clips into the top right here and then clips right into place right there. And we power it on. It has constant power. See, none of these, buttons down, sled's not on, tether's off, and we're still getting power to the Trail Tech because of our battery wire. But yeah, so this one now, it talks to the Polaris. So then all you do guys can, don't get lost, and you can find the Polaris guys, or if you guys are stuck and we need to find you, we can do that as well. But yeah, so this thing's pretty slick, and our buddy's gonna have a good time with it.
And one more thing to mention is that this Trail Tech Voyager Pro head unit, you can put it on a dirt bike, side-by-side, a quad. You can put it on just about everything, and it can monitor different parameters on your vehicle or whatnot, or it can just be a standalone unit with GPS.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
And we'll see you in the next one.